Bonjour mes amis, my name is Freya, and welcome to The Sims 3. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different this time around. No face cam either, because, yeah, this is actually all pre-recorded game footage, because all of my classes are online now, and I don't have a lot of time to record things, but some of my classes, the professors haven't quite figured out how to teach online, and it's just not worthwhile being there, but they're still taking attendance. So I was actually playing The Sims while my guitar class was going on. And yeah, this is the result. I'm currently in the process of making my OC Kenny, but men in The Sims 3 don't actually look all that good. So I kind of wound up not giving Kenny the best looking face. But that's alright, because in the story he's supposed to be relatively plain anyway, so I guess it works out. Let's see, what am I doing right now? I'm watching the video as I narrate it. Oh, I've finally given back his freckles. Kenny doesn't actually wear makeup, but I think it looks a lot better in The Sims if you just give everyone makeup in the first place. Otherwise, it's hard to see their facial features when you actually get into the game proper. So that's why he's wearing makeup. He doesn't wear it. He might look good in it, actually, but I don't think he has the time or the energy or the patience for it. He's got terrible eyebrows. I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry, Kenny. Your eyebrows are awful. I love you anyway. Oh gosh. Don't need that. Alright, goodbye. I'm fixing his body type now. He's a little chubby. He's got just enough of a tum for his girlfriend to rest her head on it, and I think that's sweet. Giving him his horrible fashion sense. I mean, not that the standard was any better. Wait till you guys see the formal wear they gave him. Sims have never had good fashion sense, like ever, in the history of the games. He wears those sneakers because that's all he really owns, but honestly, those sneakers in the game, they look a little bit like Converse, and I know he can't afford Converse. It's going so fast, because I sped everything up so that you wouldn't have to watch me play for an hour and a half. But, man, I'm just losing track of everything. He'd probably sleep in his underwear, to tell you the truth. I think I just gave him the shirt and the pants for your sake, rather than anyone else's. And we're never gonna see the swimwear, because my boy Kenny can't swim, but, like, it's whatever. Can you tell I'm having a hard time narrating like this? Like I said, I've never done this before, but usually when I'm recording a Let's Play, if I mess up, or if I run out of something to say, I can stop and redo it, or I can stop and think about what I'm gonna say and then cut it, but because I'm narrating over a video that's being played at breakneck speed, I have to constantly think of things to say, and it's just not working for me. This is why I don't live stream. This is why everything I make is always pre-recorded and heavily edited, because I don't think that fast. I mean, I guess I think too fast sometimes, and that's why I trip over my words in the first place, but then it takes me a while to get to the next thing that I want to say. Alright, I'm adding his traits now. So I wound up doing klepto, rebellious, socially awkward. It looked like I was going to do workaholic there, but that's not him. Artistic, and I thought about giving him commitment issues, but then I figured he doesn't have commitment issues in the way The Sims portrays commitment issues. He's just afraid to fall in love because he's been hurt too many times. So I gave him frugal because he's poor. And, I'm pretty sure for his lifetime wish I gave him the illustrious author one. He doesn't actually write, but he does draw and paint. I wound up picking that because I thought it'd be so funny if he wrote books, and then, like, once he mastered the writing skill, he writes a book that shares a title with the story that he's in. And I seriously thought about putting sushi as his favorite food, because he falls in love with a mermaid, but I wound up giving him burgers, because I think I canonically just make him a McDonald's addict. And he's an Aries. He was born on April 15th, which in America I believe is tax day. So that's pretty sad. But he's in the UK, so I guess that's not something he has to worry about? Maybe? It's sad, though, because he's a pretty serious anti-capitalist. Okay, I'm laying out the house right now, and I'm not good at this. I just want to throw that out there. I only recently started bothering to build the houses that I actually make in The Sims. Usually I just use a pre-existing house, and then I replace all the furniture with stuff that I like, but I keep the layout and all of the rooms the same. That window really frustrated me, especially with the, having to make it 2 stories, because he doesn't live in a 2-story home. And, yeah, basically the walls, the roof, the windows, they all gave me a hard time. Laying down furniture isn't so bad, but everything else was a nightmare. I eventually did figure it out, but I think I have to cut a huge chunk of it, just because the game started lagging out so bad with me trying to record and get the walls in place at the same time. But somewhere along the line, I do manage to make the quality a little bit nicer. And there I figured out how to create a style for the windows as well. For some reason it was telling me that I couldn't, and I don't know why, but I figured if I moved the camera around a bit, like just jiggled it and then tried again, it started working, so that's a shrug from me, but it worked. Yeah, this is the part where everything goes a little wonky and I have to... There we go! So I'm just skipping ahead to the roof, but the roof also gives me quite a bit of grief, as you're going to see. It's not that bad right now, but it gets worse. It gets so much worse. Plonking in some windows. Maybe I should just, like, not talk if I don't have something to say, instead of just reaching for something. But with the floors, I'm sort of blocking out what rooms I want to be where, and then I proceed to immediately forget what I had intended with all of this. The Sims is super dark, just in general, or at least The Sims 3 is. I don't know about the other games, because I don't really play any of the other games, but for sure I always end up using a lot of lights. Either that or I go into debug mode for buying, and I use some of the ridiculously bright invisible lights. Oh, I wound up giving him a kind of sad-looking kitchen. Like, the counters are nice and all, but, like, that stove looks so old. I didn't give him a dishwasher because I decided he can't afford it. 2 sinks, though. He can afford 2 sinks, apparently. I don't even know why I bothered giving him a stove, because my boy does not cook. I gave him a washer and dryer. The weird thing I've found about The Sims is if you don't have a washer and dryer, your Sims don't produce any dirty laundry. Like, it only becomes a problem if you have a washer and dryer. The, couch living room setup caused me so much trouble. I couldn't figure it out. And, you can also see that I'm going through this whole crisis of, these are furniture that I like and would much enjoy putting in here, but I know he wouldn't afford it. I wound up with the ugliest coffee table, but I mean, it fits. It works. It really suits it. Kenny has no money, the poor guy. And apparently I've decided he's such a monster that he deserves to have patio furniture for his dining room. I think I eventually swapped that. Yeah, I get rid of that. With a longer table so that he can at least sit down and eat with his girlfriend. I don't have her in the household yet, because she doesn't arrive until later in his life. But, I'm going to let him live a few days before I completely destroy his car. Because that does happen in the story. Tessa, his alien girlfriend, is sent to Earth in this escape pod, and it's meant to land in the ocean, but they missed, and it just lands on his car and it crushes it the same day he bought it, and it cleared out his bank account. He has $12 left when the story actually starts proper, which, as I'm sure you could imagine, is very upsetting to him, so he's not too happy right at the start of the story. He does get happier at the end. That's what this whole gameplay video is gonna be, is, I'm basically gonna make it a rags to riches challenge, but he's gonna start out with a decent house, which might actually make it a little bit harder, just because, we're gonna start out with much higher bills to pay than we would in a normal rags to riches challenge, so wish me luck with that, I guess. Oh, by the way, if you see any plants indoors, they're fake. There is no way at all that Kenny could actually keep a houseplant alive. So any plants you see in the house are completely fake. They're plastic. He's not that functional. He can barely keep himself alive, so I can't imagine how he'd keep a plant alive. What am I... Oh, So now I'm trying to make the driveway where I'm gonna put his car that's not going to last more than a few days of gameplay. But, I mean, he'll probably end up buying a new car once he has the money for it. I actually haven't thought about if I'm giving him a new car in the story. I might want to think about that. At this point, I'm realizing that he's supposed to look out his bedroom window and see his car get smashed up, but then the bedroom is on the back of the house, so I've just decided he's got a back driveway instead. But at some point, I try to switch the positions of the bedroom and the study, and that's gonna happen soon. Right now, I'm really gearing for, like, having some shrubs, I guess. No, here's where I'm switching the bedroom and the study. And then about halfway through it, I realize he was technically at his desk when the pod lands. And so it doesn't actually have to be in his bedroom if I'm giving him a separate study. The bedroom and the study were never supposed to be separate in the story, but now that I'm making it in The Sims, I might actually change the story to reflect the house that I'm building, just so that the visual reference I'm making for myself in The Sims reflects what I'm writing. Does that make any sense? I'm making this house in The Sims so that when I'm writing, I will have a better picture in my head of where everything is. And I decided to cut the corner off of that room for some reason, which looks better, it really does, but oh god, it messes up the roof so badly. And like, those walls too. But yeah, I try fixing the roof. This is where the roof gets bad and it never gets better. It really doesn't. Please never hire me as an architect. I mean, I would never attempt to get hired as an architect, but roofs just get me. No matter what game I play, if I'm making a house, I can't make a roof. It's even with Minecraft. With Minecraft, I just put some stairs around the edge and I call it a day. But that actually doesn't look too bad, because I decided to put like a little mini garden there. And, I'm tempted to say all the plants here are fake too, because they'll never die, because they don't need to be kept up. But that big bush with the white flowers actually clips through into the living room, and I don't notice that until later. And here I am foolishly trying to paint the walls, and honestly that wallpaper looks really good, but I completely forgot that the walls are essentially 2 rooms worth of walls high, and it just looks awful when I go page up, so you will see me hastily try to fix that later. What am I doing right now? Can't even tell. Oh, I'm trying to give him like, kind of like a porch type thing. Nah, sorry Kenny, you don't deserve that. You get dry grass. Yeah, look at that. That looks sufficiently awful. See, the house itself is really nice, and then everything about it is supposed to be terrible. Kenny got the house from a relative, and, he can't afford the property taxes. But it's so close to the ocean that he refuses to sell it because he's absolutely obsessed with the ocean. At this point I'm realizing I've completely forgotten a bathroom, so mowing down some of the fence to add one in last minute. See, this is why I don't build houses in The Sims, because if I use a pre-made house, the bathroom's already there, I'm just responsible for making it look decent. I always forget rooms, whether it's the bathroom, the study, whatever. And I guess a study isn't strictly speaking necessary. I did a tiny living playthrough recently where, I didn't record it, unfortunately. I had a blast with it though, so I probably should have. But I essentially just used a lofted bed, and then I put the, desk underneath the bed. I decided Kenny can have a little bit of decoration as a treat, so I let him have that life preserver. But he can't afford a hairdryer. And I don't even think he'd take the time to use one even if he could. I realized the problem with the bush finally. I tidy that up later. But for now I'm just plonking down some flowers to make it look at least kind of decent. I sort of gave up on those blue ones though after I centered the big bush. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say all the bushes are fake too. I don't know what sort of person puts fake bushes in their backyard, but apparently Kenny's that sort of person, so. Fixing the walls, and then I need to fix the roof. Again. Oh, no. I'm going through and realizing my terrible mistake with having the crown molding, but I more or less fixed it. I'm kind of sad, though, that it wound up taking away that lovely little blue stripe, but I can live with it, I guess. Oh, that's terrible. No. No, somebody stop me from trying to make a roof. Honestly, it just... That's the one you're going with? Oh, gosh. Alright, blinds, curtains... Gonna make it blue? Yeah, I'm gonna make it blue. Kenny really likes blue, because of the ocean, of course. He's a big dork for the ocean, but so am I. Ever since I got home from the Galapagos, I haven't shut up about the place. And now I'm just having him walk around to make sure that he doesn't get the unfinished room moodlet in case I missed a spot with the floor or the walls. Other than that, though, that's gonna do it for this video. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!